Apex Legends rank system has a massive flaw that has been constantly ignored, and if left unchecked will end up killing Apex. And no, I'm not talking about when the pros ruin it in Season 13. This issue has been plaguing Apex since release and is now even more relevant than it ever has been. We're talking about the peak of the competitive experience, ranked. And hold on before you dislike, or worse, leave the video, hear me out. The ranked competitive integrity is at an all-time low. The playlist is plagued by cheaters, boosters, and predator free stacks demolishing gold and platinum players like it's just another pub stomping session. At the moment, it's so bad that the games in are usually finished by the time the second ring closes, and cheaters are making a killing by boosting players into ranks that they don't deserve. Most notably, the number one predator, who allegedly has been getting boosted by cheaters to hit the number one ranked by the end of the last season. Funny enough, ranked being in this poor of a state is one of the few things that can be agreed on by both the casual and the competitive side of Apex's community, because it's not like high ranked players have it any better. If a master or predator player attempts solo queuing, they'll get gold, platinum, and diamond teammates on their team while facing master and predator free stacks who are demolishing the lobbies. In almost all cases, one predator with two filler teammates won't be able to beat a full team of his own caliber. This is because anyone who gets into these lobbies will quickly realize the problem. If you solo queue, the odds are just stacked against you. The game needs to fill the lobbies out and it needs to find you teammates, but there's almost nobody above master who still solo queues. As a band-aid fix to this lack of like-skilled teammates, the matchmaker gives you the two first teammates that it can find, very often pulling people all the way up from lower ranked lobbies that they never should have left in the first place. Players who realize the problem find teammates to grind ranked with, thus eventually turning into a high ranked stack themselves, perpetuating the cycle. The amount of solo queuing high caliber players decrease by the day, and the problem has become increasingly worse up until this point, where games are half full predator free stacks versus solo queuing golds, plats, and diamonds acting as cannon fodder. The Season 13 ranked reloaded patch did not help the situation one bit, as this misstep caused a huge chunk of the ranked Apex player base to quit playing ranked, and all it did was expedite the process. And something that's funny is that I've made several different guessing your rank videos on this channel, and you can tell things are getting worse because it has been getting so much harder to guess the ranks every single time, because some people might be master level but they just don't play ranked at all, which puts them in bronze lobbies. That's because ranked is progression based with emphasis on time spent, which leads to this feeling of it just not being worth it. Let me show you a graph. This is a bell curve. A bell curve is a graph of a normal Gaussian distribution with a large rounded peak going down on each end. Thank you, Wikipedia. On the left side, you'd have the lowest rank, like rookie or bronze. The middle, where all the players generally would be, is gold, and all the way to the right, you'd see the top ranked players and pros. So let's take a look at a few ranked distribution graphs. Here's Counter-Strike, League of Legends, Dota 2, and Overwatch. Notice how they all have a large player distribution around the middle, which makes sense because that's where all the players are. Now let's take a look at Apex. It looks absolutely nothing like those other games. Now, to be fair, it is hard to balance matchmaking in a battle royale game like Apex to make distribution even. But as the rank system resets so frequently and how it is built on progression, it will always be bottom heavy with a ladder to climb rather than a well-balanced experience. So how can Respawn go about this? Well, once they recognize the problem and how much of a threat it poses to Apex's future, they have three choices. 1. Tighten up matchmaking where you only match golds with golds, platinum with platinum, diamond with diamond, and masters and predators together. This does come at a cost of a significantly longer queue time. 2. Disable the stacking feature in some way, shape, or form. For example, disabling the chance to stack over a certain rank, say master, or just removing the feature completely and making ranked a solo queue only experience. And 3. They can also do nothing and let ranked continue eating itself alive and corroding the little ranked community we have left. I don't think longer queue times is a good choice, and as much as most rank grinders will swear that they don't mind longer queue times for more competitive games, the current iteration of the queue system would mean that they would have to wait for upwards of 30 minutes to an hour for one game to pop, and there wouldn't be anything to do in the meantime. This would be a huge hit for ranked live streamers. Doing absolutely nothing and letting ranked rot is also not a good idea, though admittedly it does seem to be Respawn's play so far, seeing as we haven't seen any more attempts of fixing these issues despite constant feedback and complaints from both sides of the community, and it has led to the point where the lead rank designer privated his Twitter. Now, obviously, they should be allowed to silence the outside voices and work in peace, but the lack of changes and communication is alarming. And that leaves us with, I would consider, the best solution: make ranked solo queue only, either by removing the stack option over a certain rank or making it solo queue altogether. The problem is a lot of players want to have a casual experience in ranked. So, for example, making it solo queue only through the bronze to platinum ranks would hurt the casual fun experience. So for the sake of this video, I'll be focusing on the idea of limiting rank to solo queue only above master. And this is something that I have personally advocated for years. I consider stacking to be a massive problem because while yes, it does increase player retention, it hurts the overall competitive experience. And if you are in a ranked system, competitive integrity is everything. And funny enough, ACU himself tweeted this out a while ago, saying that the only true fix to Apex rank is to make it solo queue only. And it remains true to this day. If anything, his point is proven more and more as time goes on. An argument could be made that it would kill collaborative content, but I'm gonna be honest, as far as the content goes, if anything, this will make it thrive. Instead of a small select group having their small collaborative cliques, everyone deserving of exposure will have a shot at growing their socials and a shot of proving themselves good enough to compete with the best. And here's my favorite part: we know that this works. Not only does this work in a bunch of different games, but it works in Apex. We know that a solo queue only rank ladder leads to more competitive games and more chances for unknown talent to shine and get featured. We know this thanks to the Realm, who is currently hosting a $150,000 tournament for masters, semi-pro players, and professional Apex players. And the kicker is that it's solo queue only. I'm super happy that they let me into season 1 of the system, and at the time of recording, I've only played for a few days, but this system shows that there's some real potential here. Sure, there's a $150,000 prize pool attached to it, which will make people try a little bit more than usual, but if we look past that and at the individual games themselves, we can see a few key differences between the Realm's solo queue system and the rank system that we have today. Nobody can get carried despite being a bad player. Even if they randomly get good teammates, they will eventually end up where they belong. Good players who have been slept on and never given a chance have a way to stand out, both in exposure and a chance to join competitive teams. The games themselves are generally very sweaty and could be likened to a sweatness level of a challenger circuit final. These games are more competitive than pro league scrims. There's no divide between half of the lobby being high rank stacks and the other half being low level fillers. If you assume the lobbies have the exact same players, the sweats are generally evenly distributed among every team, instead of the lobbies being top heavy. This makes every single game a lot closer. Your rank means something. While Realm is developing an elo system as we speak, every game you play considerably affects your rating. There's an incentive to try as hard as you can, prize pool or not, just to play with and against the best. The only constant is you, and it's up to you to play your best and improve if you want to grind more. Your rank is not bound to time. The current iteration of Apex's rank system rewards time in a stack over everything else, as you can kill all the low-rated players for easy kill points and progress over a, say, 12-hour play session. But if you have a solo queue only system, every game suddenly matters a lot more, and it relies on your individual performance. It also helps that the lobbies are only open between 12 to 6 every weekday. Smaller streamers and lesser known pros get a chance to shine as they get put into teams with much larger streamers and better pros, which might let them get on those pros radars in the future. I'm super excited to see how Realm develops, and you guys are always free to check me out as I live stream and continue grinding on this YouTube channel and improving myself as I climb through the ladder. And Respawn doesn't have to implement Realm's exact system, it's just a proof of concept, and we know that it works. I think that making ranked solo queue only above master will foster new talent, it will allow underrated streamers to grow, it will make every individual game more competitive, it will make ranked more fun to play, and probably the most important, it will make ranked mean something. And honestly, that's probably all we want. We just want ranked to mean something. And as usual, if you guys enjoyed the video and my input on ranked, check out the video on the screen for my take on Apex's SBMM. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.